Hello and welcome to Bunker 21. This is going to be slightly different as a what are we going to call this? Like an addition to this podcast, or I don't know, we'll just see where this goes. But it's basically a drive-through version of it. It was a clever name that Yami thought of. I messed up my words over there. It's completely fine. Anyway, my name is what's my name?
Cade.
Kane. My name's Kane.
Cade.
By the way, I think if you're listening to this and if we have like a loyal fan or something, these aren't our real names, which is why I keep confusing what my name is for whatever. But, my name's Kane. I'm here with Yami and this is a drive-through podcast. The topic of this one is gonna be the coolest movie to come out, maybe July 31st, maybe never. It's by my favorite director, and it's called Tenet. So let's get into it. What do you know? What do you know so far about the movie?
Okay, so my first exposure to Tenet was, I think I was watching. I forgot what movie I was watching. I was in. It was in theaters, and
Mm-hmm.
then it was like a. It was different because you know how in movies
Was it
you
Fast and
watch.
Furious? Was it the Hobbs and Shaw movie? No.
I don't know.
Okay.
You know how each of the movies. So I don't know. Wait, did you watch like a preview of it in a movie theater
Yeah, yeah,
before?
yeah. Because they released it.
Okay.
It's a Warner Brothers film, so they released it with a
Okay.
Warner Brothers film. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So if that's the case, then I don't know if what I saw was gonna match yours, but I forgot what movie I was watching, and it was. I remember thinking afterwards how interesting that movie was because I turned to my dad and I was like, "You need to watch this,"
Yeah.
because it was a very long preview,
Yeah.
very long
Yeah.
preview.
Yeah.
Is how tense I was. There was
Yeah.
this whole. We were in like an opera house in Austria
Uh huh.
or whatever,
Uh huh.
and felt like were falling asleep. Something about bombs or something
Yes.
trying to steal something. It
Yes.
wasn't made clear, I guess. And that was my only. That was what I watched that, and I thought, holy crap! I haven't had a movie make me feel this tense in 30 seconds or in 5 minutes
Mm-hmm.
in forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that's my only. That's my only, I guess, exposure to it. I don't know. What do you think about it?
Wait, do you know like what the sort of concept is in Tenet? Like what the idea is?
No, I couldn't tell you if I
So it's like,
tried.
okay, so like the idea of like time travel and stuff. Have you heard of that? That's being put out
Is it
there.
actually?
So
It's time.
it's the theory based on just what's sort of put in the movie, where they
Okay.
explicitly say it's not time travel, as in like you're
Um.
not traveling to the future or the present or whatever, but there are scenes that happen in like reverse. And
Okay.
that also is a theory as to why the title is Tenet, because it's like the same forwards and the same backwards. And it's just like, this is just
Oh.
like a bunch of stuff that I'm sort of putting together from like hours and hours of watching, like, random idiots going online going, like, we know what Tenet's about. And this is all of that.
Yeah.
One theory I've read is that it's like the sequel to Inception, but just like 10 years after.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh wow.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And another theory is it's based off of this like science concept where it's about like causality. And so the point is like instead of the idea is like if I'm holding a sock right now, if you see this, and if I drop this sock, it's like, yeah, I dropped this sock, I caused that to happen. Or
Oh.
is it the sock being dropped on the sort of on my bed? Is that what caused me to drop it from the future? That's another sort of way to look at it.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
It's
What do you
like,
mean?
can the future
Pause.
influence the past rather than the opposite way? We know it as the opposite way, right?
Okay. All right.
And these are just weird things, and like none of what I'm saying makes any sense because I'm like, first of all, I'm stupid, but second of all, like it's just weird stuff that I'm like listening to. But like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how to like put this together into like a coherent sort of film. When's this
Okay.
film
So
coming out?
according to Google,
Yeah.
because Google is very reliable in this
Mm-hmm.
sense, it's being released in the U.S. Um, on July 31st, 2020.
Yeah.
And for those of you who are too familiar with Tenet and are too lazy to check Google, the director is Christopher Nolan, as Kane here stated wonderfully before. Um, It stars some of its cast members include John David Washington. If you don't know who he is, he starred The Black Klansman by Spike Lee.
Mm-hmm.
Robert Pattinson, which is a surprising member of the cast for me personally, because he was very famous in the infamous Twilight Saga. Uh,
Infamous? You mean the amazing Twilight Saga?
oh, okay. All right. Well, everyone is entitled to their own opinion.
Yeah,
Okay.
but some opinions are wrong. But okay, yeah.
Okay. All right. Elizabeth Debicki. I've seen her face before. I'm not. I
Yeah.
forgot what she's been. Oh, apparently she's been in Guardians of the Galaxy, The Great Gatsby.
Oh, I know
And
where she was in the Guardians of the Galaxy
oh,
film.
she was
The golden
the tall
person
right, the tall lady, right? The golfer.
in
Yeah,
the.
remember Daisy had that one lady friend at the beginning.
I'm talking about Guardians of the Galaxy. You're talking about The Great Gatsby. This shows the literacy difference between us. I'm talking about a
Okay.
superhero film, and then Yami over here is talking about an adaptation of one of the best novels of all time, and we both had equal
Yeah,
excitement. Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy, the one that she was the golden lady, right? The
No,
golden.
but she was the golfer in The Great Gatsby, as most people would know. Sure. Yeah.
All right, so Elizabeth Debicki's also Elizabeth Debicki,
Michael Caine.
Dimple, Michael Caine, and Kenneth Branagh,
Kenneth
and
Branagh,
also
who's he was in Dunkirk before. He's a famous sort of actor.
okay,
He's on Shakespeare. Dimple
and
Kapadia,
Dimple.
she's a Bollywood actress. She's like, Bollywood's like the Indian film industry. Why would I know it? You don't know my nationality. Ba da ba ba ba. But shoot. But
Oh wait, okay, no, Kenneth. Oh, I know who Kenneth Branagh is.
if you saw
He
Harry
plays.
Potter, yeah,
I only know him as Hamlet.
you're such a nerd.
I'm sorry, Hamlet's an amazing movie. He was an amazing
He was
Hamlet.
good. He was good in that movie, and that was actually a really fun movie to see. It was good. Most Shakespearean adaptations kind of suck. That's so weird. Yeah, because they just kind of say things. No, but yeah. Yeah, yeah. Anyway.
Okay. I mean, I'm excited. I mean, if you couldn't tell, Kane and I are very excited for this movie.
Yeah.
Uh, this has been. I'm. He and I were very uh, frustrated when we found out that the coronavirus had stunted our ability to
Yes.
watch this in person on IMAX, the whole
And
shebang.
this is the
Great
biggest,
sound.
and it's the biggest reason why I'm mad that the coronavirus exists. It's just, this is the biggest sort of, it is almost as if the coronavirus committed murder. It's murdered my enthusiasm for going to the theater. And this is the biggest fatality that's been as a result. Oh God, I hope I never get a face reveal here. No, I've said too many things. I've said too many things. No, but that's a joke.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
sure. It makes me think, why not kill 100,000 people? Why not kill a couple 100,000 people? If it's all worth it in the end for Tenet.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna support you on that statement.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah, but
Um,
are you though?
I,
I mean,
I'm
I
kidding.
know
I'm going to get flamed by the people. I'm sorry.
by
That
like
was a
the
very.
no people that see us, and then we're not in a great place there.
I made a very bad joke. Yeah, it's just not
Don't
a great
apologize.
joke.
I
A
think
great climate. I'm sorry.
it's weird though. So Christopher Nolan's status as a film, like I'm super into film. Sometimes, like I really want to get into that industry and everything. Like that's a huge thing for me. So Christopher Nolan, he is like my favorite film director. I think he's a lot of people's favorite right now, because the guy just does so many things that is like that most film directors never do. And he's found a way to make films that are like fun to watch but also like intellectual, so you never feel like stupid or anything. Like it's different from watching like a Fast and Furious film. Not that there's
Oh,
anything
come
wrong.
on. No. Don't.
Okay. All right. There's
Fast and
nothing wrong
Furious.
with a Fast and Furious film. Fast and Furious films are great. I just get tired sometimes when I see them for too long, because it's like a lot of stuff going on for, in my opinion, no reason.
But that's the whole point, though. That's the
Okay.
whole point.
Okay, yeah, that's a good point. And I don't, yeah, I don't know. I guess I just like stories, and I
You are a swine. You don't enjoy crazy cars
sure, yeah,
jumping
yeah,
jumping
off
off of
of
roofs
planes,
or
off of
off of planes.
planes,
You don't
or
enjoy
cars
that.
going from building to building. I'm really just uncultured, and it's truly
You don't like black
say it
people.
again.
You don't like ludicrous, don't you? You don't like black people. That's what it is.
Okay, all right. Listen,
You're
listen.
just racist
I,
with black people.
well, that would be kind of crazy because I'm black, and so you can't really say that to me.
Oh, this face reveal is gonna raise so many questions.
It's like, is he blind or is he okay? All right, but yeah, I don't know. Tenet's gonna be a weird thing because like Christopher Nolan is also Warner Brothers' most successful film director, and so they really need him to sort of deliver great films. And if you look at him, the guy has never had like a flop in his like filmography ever, and that's kind of crazy because no other director that I know of has ever actually achieved that. Even like Tarantino, because we're both fans of him. Even Tarantino like has had some not great films that have not done well. Jackie Brown didn't do amazingly well. I want to say Death Proof is another film. It's about like a guy in a car that like kills people. Doesn't do well. It didn't do that well either. But Christopher Nolan, like all his films have been hits. The Prestige hit. Memento, small but still a hit. Dark Knight, Batman Begins, Dark Knight Rises, Inception, Interstellar, Dunkirk. They're all like pretty well grossing films, actually really high. And so Tenet also has an incredibly high budget, 205 million, I'm pretty sure.
203 million. That's the budget
203.
for this.
Okay, so it's actually reasonable. 205 would
It's
have been ludicrous, but.
I would be very surprised if Tenet wasn't as good as it was hyped out. I would be very disappointed by Nolan.
Yeah,
If he
I also don't think it's going to happen.
200, but think about it, $203 million
Mhm.
for a movie. That's not even an Avengers. It's not a superhero movie.
Yeah.
It's nothing like
Yeah.
that's insane. That means that Warner Bros. Truly trusts Nolan
Yeah.
to make this a banger of a movie.
Because if you saw Dunkirk was a film about a battle that like nobody in this country sort of really connected to. Like I didn't know a ton about the Battle of Dunkirk. It's a big
Did you
thing.
watch?
I watched it. I loved it. It was so good.
It's amazing.
I was really
Amazing.
pissed off that they didn't show the fact that like, 2/3 of the British army was actually Indian and like they never showed that at all and it was just like white guys fighting that. But that's neither here nor there. And what do I care? I'm not Indian. It doesn't that's not the narrative we're pushing. But but the film was done really well, and
Yeah.
like it looked amazing. It was amazing, but like
What was your sorry? What was your first Nolan movie
first Nolan movie.
that you ever watched? Mine. The first one that I watched was Inception
Oh,
because that was.
nice.
But then after Inception, I watched Memento afterwards, and I love Memento.
Isn't Memento amazing?
Memento is honestly, people don't talk about Memento enough, in my opinion.
Dude, it's a
When they talk about
fun film. It is a fun
Memento,
film.
fantastic
Dude,
film.
Memento is like, it's a puzzle. It's like if a puzzle was a film. And like, it's so fun to see, like, because the way that it's even shown is like so smart. Where you have like the forwards and the backwards and all that stuff. It's amazing. We spoiled Memento, but if you haven't seen Memento, see it. I mean, it's still worth watching. It's still really great.
Very well. It was made. It's an older movie. It was made 20 years ago in 2000, but an amazing movie that you should definitely put on
So
your
good.
must see.
So good.
Must see.
Yeah.
So,
One.
so
So
what was the first movie? What was the first movie that you watched?
first movie
by
that I
Nolan?
saw by Nolan would have been. So I remember being conscious of, like, I don't know if this is the same for you, but I was like, I got like conscious of my own interests and stuff around the age of like 8 or 9, and I started like choosing things, and so, like 2008 was when like Dark Knight came out. I remember distinctly seeing that on like DVD, and so I was like,
Oh,
ooh, this was a cool film. And like for sixth grade, I remember I put the Joker on my little like notepad or my notebook. We got to like put it on our cover, so that was like a huge film for me. But then after that, Inception was there, and like The Prestige was a big film. That was a huge one because it was like it's Christian Bale, it's Hugh Jackman, it's Scarlett Johansson, Rebecca Ferguson. It's a lot of like really great people. Michael Caine's been in like all of his films, and so it's a great cast. But like then it's so fun. It's like two magicians that are outsmarting each other and everything.
okay,
I'm
don't
not gonna
spoil it.
spoil it. I'm not. Have you seen it?
I haven't. I've never seen. What was it?
The
Prestige.
Prestige.
Yeah,
You should totally
I never.
watch it. Totally watch it. It's pretty great. And then what? I think after that, then I was just sort of like fully into him because like, just it's so hard to find people that make films that are like, just fun to watch and also like, ooh, that's also a cool thing. Like Interstellar is like one of that too, right? Like, that's just awesome.
Oh my god, I can't tell. So, in terms of Interstellar, I love The Dark Knight. I loved Inception,
You
but
didn't like
a
that film?
movie, but a movie has never captured
Oh, okay, good.
my
Yeah, yeah.
heart, literally my heart, as much as Interstellar has. Maybe it's just because I love space
Sure.
and I love time travel and the idea of playing around with the fourth dimension and the fifth dimension
Yeah,
and stuff
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Interstellar was such a. It wasn't a. Surprisingly, it was a. When they showed when who was it? Christopher Nolan. When Christopher Nolan was able to visually showcase what a black hole looked like to me,
Yes.
my
You're
mind
talking about
was
the like the bright sort of like
the
Saturn-like kind of thing.
eye of the horizon. The eye of the
That
horizon.
was awesome. That was so
Do
cool.
you remember that? So whoever has never watched Interstellar, you
Watch
might
it.
want to mute. Whoever has, you should definitely watch it,
Ooh,
but mute.
spoilers. Okay, yeah, sure, sure, sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You definitely muted. We'll put up a timestamp for when we stop talking about Interstellar. But do you remember that? So you got your chance. Three, two, one. Okay, we're gonna talk
Mm-hmm.
about this.
Totally.
Remember that guy? One guy, the scientist, was explaining how wormholes worked. The
Oh, and he
paper.
does the paper thing, and he does like the hole. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
That, that I love that. I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I love that moment
When you can
because it's
explain
a
something
very
as simple as that into like that kind of thing,
explain like
for sure.
explain like I'm five.
Yeah.
Explain this concept
Eli
like I'm a
5.
child.
It was very good.
I don't, Matthew McConaughey's he was such a good he was so good in this movie.
Everything was so good in that film. It was so
I
good.
love this
Dude,
movie
there's a
so much.
concept in that film that I actually. So I've been writing a lot of short films lately. That's been like a big thing for me.
You
And there's a concept in that film that I just really, really loved the idea of, which was like using like the fourth dimension as if it's like a third dimension kind of thing. And so the point here was like in the future maybe we'll get to a point where we can like walk forward in time, walk backwards in time, and sort of use it as like an actual dimension that we can there. And that was so cool to me, but it was like a stray idea. That's how like dense his films are. Like even the stray stuff that's just mentioned is like, whoa, that could be an entire thing. Like it's so cool. But yeah, I mean his I don't know. I mean, one other thing to discuss with Tenet that's not really film related though is like right now the release date's July 31st, and we're not even done with the first wave of coronavirus. And we know that the way these viruses work
yeah.
is that usually the second wave can get kind of gnarly, and usually that's what sort of gets people. Do you think people are going to see this film?
See, this comes out on July 31st, and
Second wave is
as
fall. Second wave is fall.
I think we'll be able to see it. Honestly,
Would you see
um,
it? Would you watch it?
in theaters.
Yeah, in
Oh,
theaters.
absolutely. I'll probably watch it late at night though, because I have a theater. There's a theater in my city where
Yeah.
they open up pretty late or they stay open pretty late. I would definitely watch like the last screening they have of it. Because I don't want to watch it like the first day that it comes out. You know
No,
what I
yeah,
mean? I
where
don't.
everyone's filling up the thing for sure.
So
Oh, that's
that
awesome. Yeah,
honestly, one of my best movie experiences of all time was I was watching. I actually you remember Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse?
that was a great film. I actually
I
watched that
watched
film yesterday, but yeah.
that. I watched that movie like a couple weeks after it was released at theaters.
Oh,
I watched
smart,
the last.
smart.
I
Yeah.
wa- I recommend this to everybody. You should go watch a movie by yourself, late at
Mm-hmm.
night by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because honestly, the theater wasn't packed at all. I sat in the way back and was able to put my feet up and stuff and just immerse myself in this.
Yeah.
It was great. Like just to go and watch this movie, how colorful it was. How
That's a
that's my
great movie to do it with too, because it's just such a fun film to watch.
is.
Yeah.
And that was
Huh.
the first superhero that I ever fell in love with was Spider-Man. Spider-Man was my childhood superhero. I loved
Yeah.
Spider-Man
Yeah. Yeah.
as a kid. I loved Sam Raimi's Spider-Man when it first came out. Loved it as a kid. I don't care if people call it campy or not. I don't give a fuck.
No, dude,
Spider-Man,
that
Spider-
film sort of it was like it was Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, it was Christopher Nolan's Batman, it was
uh,
X-Men, like that kind of genre of it or our era of it sort of propelled us into what we have right now. Oh,
yeah,
we
I
should
agree.
totally talk about superheroes. Oh, that would be kind of fun.
Yeah,
Oh, but yeah, I mean, Tenet, it's weird, right? Because we were talking about coronavirus before we even started to do this sort of like mini podcast thing. But it was like, we're sort of like bored of the coronavirus right now, where I just went to go outside and see how many people are there. And it's just like everyone's out, everyone's walking and everything. And like
yeah.
they're interacting with friends, there's no social distancing, none of the guidelines are there. And maybe it's completely anecdotal, but like also, that's a powerful kind of metric to use sometimes when you're going to like measure what people are doing, and like
Mhm.
no one's taking the right precautions. At least that's what it seemed like. So I don't see it turning out really well. Like that's kind of scary.
You don't see it turning out very well.
Not really for the virus. Not for the virus.
What do you mean?
The film might do well, but like I think that like the virus might infect even more people and everything. We're seeing spikes of cases, right? Like that's a big thing. And we're seeing that happen sort of a little all over. We're not seeing good testing or anything. And so because the response is weird and because we're not getting people to like, actually take that seriously anymore, it feels a
Uh-huh.
little like crazy. That said, I hope the film is good. I'm gonna watch the film. I don't know.
I am very confident that Christopher Nolan won't fuck this up.
Yeah,
Um,
me too. Me too.
because I am definitely. Uh, come on, man. Like Nolan, you are on a hot streak. Anytime his name is attached to something, I get instantly excited.
Yeah.
Instantly. You like okay? So this is the last thing we'll say because we're reaching sort of near the end of the podcast
Yeah,
episode.
yeah, sure.
Do you know the movie Man of Steel? It's about Superman. You know.
Oh, that film. Yeah, I do.
Man, so Nolan actually didn't direct it; he wrote it. Um, oh, actually, he wrote parts of Man of Steel. I actually liked Man of Steel a lot. I don't know
I
about
liked
you, but
Man of
actually,
Steel too because I mean it got a lot of like hate. I never understood why, but I liked it.
also, did you hear? You know the field, the cornfields in Interstellar.
Yeah.
You know those are real, right?
He planted those. Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
He actually made a profit from selling those
Yeah.
corn.
Yeah, yeah, I know.
I thought that was so funny. I was like, of course Nolan will do that. Of
He's
course Nolan,
he's a
because
big proponent of like, everything has to be practical, everything has to be on film, all that stuff. Yeah.
the whole. You know the one part in a. I mean, this scene attests to Nolan's proclivity and tendency and love for practical effects. Do you remember that one scene in a Dark Knight where that truck sort of flips out, it
Yes.
explodes and
Yeah, yeah.
flips
Yeah, yeah,
over? That
Chicago.
was
Yeah,
all
yeah.
real. That was
Yeah.
all real apparently.
Yeah.
That was a legit. They spent like little weeks perfecting that.
Dude, that vehicle, like the thing that he's like on the thing that Batman's on the pod,
Real.
that's a real
It's
thing.
real.
It's a real thing.
It all works. The
Why
tank
doesn't he
works.
sell that? Why can't we have that? Why can't that be a thing?
Do you really want someone writing that around New York.
I'd be fine with it. I've seen weirder things in that city.
That's true. All
People on
right.
like unicycles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I hope
All right.
Tenet's good. I hope people don't die watching it, although it might be worth it. But anything else to say? I don't know. Last words?
I
No?
got nothing to say. Man.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome.
Want to lead it up?
Yeah. Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening. This is the first time we're sort of attempting to do this. This has been Bunker 21, a drive-through podcast where we discuss Tenet, whatever. If you liked it, like and subscribe. If you disliked it, like and subscribe. If you really disliked it, again, we'll track you down. We'll find you. So don't
Yeah.
dislike it. That's not a threat. It's just a fact. Um, but yeah, my name was Kane. This was Yami, and that was and that was it. See ya.
Yep. Peace.